Good afternoon, family and friends of our graduates. Welcome to the College of Engineering and Computing recognition ceremony. My name is Beena Sukumaran, and I'm the Dinesh and Neela Paliwal Dean of the College of Engineering and Computing. It is with great pride and pleasure that I introduce to you the class of 2026. I hope all of you found your seats. So please remain standing if you're able and join in the singing of our national anthem. We'll be led by soloist Ana Castillon, a Master of Music and Music Performance student in the College of Creative Arts.
Oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, Anna, for joining us today and for sharing your talent with us. Also, I'd like to thank the musicians for their musical performance, our sign language interpreters, our closed captioning and audiovisual technicians, all of whom are listed in your program. Please join me in a round of applause for these individuals. I also wanted to thank our staff, especially Wendy Owens, who's there in the back, Colleen, who is right here on stage. They have worked countless hours to put together this event today with lots of our staff who are here supporting them as they worked on this program. So thank you to all of them as well. So I'll read the land acknowledgement. So Miami University is located within the traditional homelands of the Miami and Shawnee people, who along with other indigenous groups ceded these lands to the United States in the first Treaty of Greenville in 1795. The Miami people, whose name our university carries, were forcibly removed from these homelands in 1846. In 1972, a relationship between Miami University and the Miami tribe of Oklahoma began, and it has evolved into a reciprocal partnership, including the creation of the Miami Center at Miami University in 2001. The work of the Miami Center serves the Miami tribe community and is dedicated to the revitalization of the Miami language and culture and to restoring that knowledge to the Miami people. So Miami University and the Miami tribe are proud of this work. And the more than 140 Miami students who have attended Miami since 1991 through the Miami Heritage Award Program. Now I'd like to introduce our platform party. I'll ask each person on the platform to stand if they're able, in turn to be recognized by the audience. Please hold your applause until all has been introduced. Starting with the back row, from your left, Nick Stanford, Academic Advisor for the Chemical, Paper, and Biomedical Engineering. Dr. Brian Kirkmeyer, Karen Buchwald-Wright, Senior Assistant Dean for Student Success. Dr. Marnie Saunders, Associate Dean for Grad Studies, Research, and Innovation. Dr. Michael Crowder, Associate Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Jessica Sparks, Associate Dean for Personnel and Curriculum. Colleen Bush, Assistant Dean for External Relations and Communication. In the front row, once again from your left, Dr. Liran Ma, Chair of Computer Science and Software Engineering. Dr. Fazil Khan, Professor of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. Mr. Jack Naumina, Mechanical Engineering student and the student keynote speaker. Mr. Jim Free, Chief Operating Officer and Senior Consultant at Lead of the X and our alumni keynote speaker. Dr. Marcia England, Interim Associate Provost and Professor of Geography. Dr. Chi-Hao Cheng, Chair of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Dr. Amy Yousefi, Chair of Chemical, Paper, and Biomedical Engineering. Thank you. Now I'm pleased to recognize the special people most responsible for the education of our students, the people who serve on the faculty and staff of the College of Engineering and Computing. It's with great pride that I ask the faculty and staff members to stand, if they're able, and to be recognized for their outstanding commitment to the graduates we honor here today. Please be seated. Friends, family, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the class of 2026. Take a look around. We are surrounded by the legendary red bricks of Miami University. For 4 years or more, these bricks have been the backdrop of your lives. But as engineers and computer scientists, we sometimes look at them differently. Where others see a charming campus, we see structural integrity and resilience. Where others saw a backdrop for social life, you saw a foundation for perseverance. Now, I'm sure you enjoyed yourselves, as Miamians should, but you also found the time to make the world a little bit better. You weren't just students, you were problem solvers. You built the Baja car, not just for the thrill of a race, but to pioneer sustainable transit. You designed prosthetic arms, allowing a person to be seen not by a disability, but as a leader empowered to thrive. You provided clean water to communities from Upper Sandusky, right here in Ohio, to Rwanda and Uganda. You worked in the cybersecurity clinic to help organizations better protect their systems and data in an increasingly complex digital world. You developed AI tools for tutoring, and you also optimized the very machinery that keeps our manufacturing plants running. In the College of Engineering and Computing, the Miami experience is defined by a unique synergy, a liberal arts foundation paired with technical mastery. You're graduating as more than just computer scientists or engineers. You are future leaders. You possess the rare ability to bridge the gap between complex code and executive strategy, and between engineering precision and human ethics. In a world increasingly trapped in silos, you are the ones prepared to build the bridges. But let's be honest, being a CEC major is a unique test of character. We all know those nights in Benton Hall or in McVeigh, where the sunrise beat you to the finish line and your code still hadn't compiled. And we know the resilience you forged when the paper machine jammed in your hour of need, or when a glucose monitor showed absolute nonsensical readings right in the middle of your capstone presentation. These were not just academic hurdles. They were lessons in persistence. Engineering and computer science are, by definition, the art of solving problems that do not want to be solved. This is the first gift of your Miami education. It has fundamentally rewired your brain to see the world not just for what it is, but for how it works and how it can be improved. Of course, you didn't walk this path alone. You were supported by an extremely dedicated faculty and staff who show up every day to ensure you receive a world-class education. Today, we bid a grateful farewell to 3 inspiring faculty members, Kurt Johnson, Norm Crumpy, and Carl Reif. They have mentored, taught, and coached generations of students, and the legacy they leave behind is truly awe-inspiring. And our commitment to graduate education and research also reaches a historic peak today as we celebrate Dr. Wei Hao Chen, our very first PhD graduate in engineering. He was advised by Dr. Hui Wang, and Wei Hao, in fact, he was recognized this morning at the main ceremony, but he developed a groundbreaking imaging platform to study how newts regenerate eye tissue, a mystery that could hold the key to human eye lens regeneration, which could be a future alternative to artificial lens implants. So Wei Hao's work proves that research is indeed the bedrock of the progress shaping our country and the world. Our student speaker, Jack Nomina, embodies the same drive by tackling a demanding double major in mechanical engineering and music performance. Jack proves our students refuse to be defined by a single discipline. Similarly, our graduation speaker, Jim Free, is the embodiment of our code of love and honor. In his 30-year career, Jim has spent countless years developing the future of deep space exploration, for the Moon to Mars and Artemis programs. Beyond his technical mastery, he exemplifies love and honor by balancing ambitious research with a steadfast commitment to the safety of the teams that worked alongside him. As you leave Oxford, the world will ask you to build things. My challenge to you is to ensure that what you build is worthy of the people it serves. Do not just optimize for efficiency, optimize for humanity. Carry love and honor with you. Be the engineer who listens. Be the computer scientist who acts with integrity. And whenever you see a red brick anywhere in the world, remember that you have the foundation to build something that lasts. So congratulations, class of 2026, to the future and to Miami. So members of the class of 2026, today all our colleges, leadership, faculty, staff, join me in congratulating you on your success. This ceremony is not just a one-way street. We want to give you, the students, a voice. We want to hear from you. And we do this by selecting student speakers from a pool of many strong candidates. All of the candidates displayed the characteristics of many of you, our graduates: strong academic credentials, involvement in undergraduate research, participation in leadership and co-curricular activities, and a drive to lead and succeed. We had 4 extremely deserving nominees, and the selection this year was particularly difficult. As a result, in addition to our student recognition speaker here on the stage with me, we decided to invite the other 3 nominees to address the audience via a recorded voice video message. Hafsa El Harshe, Vasil Norenko, and Megan Walston, please stand and be recognized. All 3 of you. Now let us all turn our attention to the screens for this special video message from Hafsa, representing the Chemical, Paper, and Biomedical Engineering Department, Vasil, representing the Computer Science and Software Engineering Department, and Megan, representing the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department.
Ever since I can remember, my parents have always stressed the importance of getting an education. So my plan has always been simple: go to college, get a degree, and get a job. What I didn't plan for was how much these 4 years of college would mean to me, and how hard it would be leaving them behind. Engineering was no joke. Apparently, this academically challenging program was indeed academically challenging. I spent the good part of the last 4 years holed up in my room studying, at the library, or in the professor's office hours. I often questioned if I was even smart enough for this degree, or if all this trouble was even worth it. Somewhere along the way, I realized I wasn't entirely miserable. The people who were just classmates slowly became good friends, and the professors I was once scared to talk to became great mentors. Some of the best bonds are those formed through engineering trauma. If you were to ask me if I would voluntarily take physics again, I'd say not a chance. I served my time. But knowing what I know now, I would choose this degree at this school with these people over and over again. Miami didn't just give me an engineering education, but it gave me a place to grow with love and honor as I learned to navigate this strange new thing called adulthood. It's a bittersweet day walking across the stage to signify the completion of a degree I worked so hard for. But it is also the conclusion of my time at Miami, a time I never realized would mean so much. To my fellow Redhawks, classmates, friends, and professors, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? And to my parents, I couldn't have done it without you. I hope I made you proud. And above all, Alhamdulillah.
I came to Miami fleeing from a country at war. I came with a suitcase, only packing essentials, a heavy accent, and a lot of uncertainty. The first year was lonely. It is hard to form real connections when a language barrier stands between you and everyone around you. Some people understandably move on, but some do not, like my roommate from day one, Noah, Christian, whose curiosity about my world, my culture, my story made me feel noticed and heard, and Anastasia, a fellow international student, who gave me the unconditional support that carried me through my lowest of the lows. Miami gave me the friends who changed everything. In the end, what I learned from that first year and 4 years of research with my mentor Dr. Femiani, who led me by personal example of the highest level of scholarship, is to stay the course. You will never know what you are capable of unless you try. Discomfort is not where I want to stop, it is a sign of you transforming. If nothing else, just remember that you have made it this far, and it is just a bit farther now. We are entering a world that will keep shifting beneath our feet, a world that our generation will have to rediscover and reimagine. Embrace the uncertainty. Stay curious about what you don't yet understand. The gap between who you are and who you could become is crossed one stubborn, imperfect step at a time. Congratulations, class of 2026. Find your dreams come true.
When I think back on my time at Miami, I realize that it was never defined by one significant moment. It's the combination of the small ones. Late nights, working on projects, study sessions that turned into long conversations, and the friendships that made all of it meaningful. Some of the most important moments, though, were the uncomfortable ones. Like one random day, my freshman year, when Marguerite plucked me out of the middle of the hallway and convinced me, in the span of 5 minutes, to join the Society of Women Engineers, attend an ECE Student Advisory Council meeting, and to join IEEE HKN. I was nervous, but I did it all anyways, and that one conversation changed everything. That night, at my first SWE meeting, I met people who would become some of my closest friends. It led me to leadership roles I never could have imagined for myself. Not only that, it gave me the confidence to try things I never thought I would. Joining new student organizations, studying abroad, and stepping into completely unfamiliar experiences like raising future guide dogs. If I had stayed comfortable, I would have missed all of it. And that's what I want to leave you with today. As we move on from Miami, it's easy to hold on to what's familiar. Our routines, our people, our sense of place, but growth doesn't happen there. It happens when we feel uncertain, when we take risks, when we choose to step into the unknown. So as you think about what comes next, remember how you felt on your very first day here. Excited, maybe a little scared, and unsure of what was ahead. Everything you've accomplished started with that uncertainty, so keep chasing that feeling. Seek discomfort, because that's where growth happens. Congratulations, class of 2026, and whatever comes next, I hope it challenges you, teaches you, and helps you become everything you're capable of.
All three of them were extremely inspirational, so thank you. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Fazil Khan, Professor of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering Department, to the podium to introduce our student keynote speaker.
Thank you very much. It's my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. Jack Namina, student speaker from Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. Jack Namina from Westchester, Ohio, has earned a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering and a Bachelor of Arts in Music Performance. During his time at Miami, he has participated in undergraduate research under Dr. Jong-Wei Koo, focusing on applications of smart materials. Jack has completed various internships, including a research internship in Seoul, South Korea, at Konkuk University, designing haptic actuators. He has also been extensively involved in engineering student organizations, serving on Theta Tau, Engineers Without Borders, and the American Society of Mechanical Engineers every semester since his freshman year. He additionally serves on the MME Student Leadership Council and actively participates in department and outreach activities. Outside of the CEC building, Jack has performed as a member of Professor Andrea Redilla's oboe studio. He has served as principal oboe of both Miami University's wind ensemble and orchestra through his time in undergraduate work here, and was selected as one of the winners of the 2026 Miami University Concerto Competition. He is the founding member of Miami University's Double Reed Club and has gigged professionally with the Mason Symphony. Outside of academia, Jack enjoys working out, cultivating plants, as well as hiking. After graduating, he plans to pursue graduate education in mechanical engineering with the eventual goal of working in a research lab. Please join me in welcoming Jack Namina to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, we really are graduating. Huh, crazy. Those of you who know me know that I tend to be a fairly pragmatic person, but today's pretty monumental regardless. With graduation comes a mass reuniting with family and friends from outside of Miami, and at least in my experience, they normally have a bunch of questions. The most annoying one I've gotten has been the classic, "What's the most impactful thing you've learned in college?" As if I could sum up 4 years with one factoid or life lesson. Well, for the sake of the speech, actually, I am going to try. I'd say the number one most impactful thing I've gained from college would be learning how to schedule a Google Calendar event. My friends and I have all learned the hard way that if it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. The second most important thing I've learned, which I use almost daily in life, is without a doubt learning how to rotate a 3x3 stress tensor about 2 axes. Thank you, Dr. Hamilton. Use that one just about every day. And the third thing I've learned, which, if you haven't guessed, is what I'm actually here to give a speech about, boils down to the kind of oxymoronic idea that every one of us here today is completely different, but also exactly the same. That may not make sense at first mention, I know. I'd offer to break it down, but as an engineer, I'd really prefer if things didn't break, so I'll explain the idea instead. Yes, we are all graduating with engineering and computing degrees today. The paths we've taken to get here are all unique. I'm the only person graduating from Miami today with majors in music performance and mechanical engineering, but that being said, I'm far from the only person with a unique combination. Be it entrepreneurship, theater, information systems, dance, film, physics, so many of us have leveraged our time at Miami to explore so many different interests outside of the College of Engineering and Computing. Even just within CEC, we've all taken unique paths. Different thematic sequences, took different electives. Some of us may have managed to take all of the exact same classes, but at different times and with different professors. This uniqueness doesn't stop at the classroom either. Miami is a school with hundreds of opportunities for extracurricular activity. I, for one, min-maxed towards engineering pretty hard. I was super involved with Theta Tau, Engineers Without Borders, and the American Society of Mechanical Engineers throughout my time in undergrad. I gained a lot of leadership experience, professionally developed myself, and most importantly, made lifelong friends through these clubs. Even if you managed to do a better job of escaping Benton every day than I did, each of us has built our own community on this campus. Maybe you joined Social Greek Life, played a D1 or club sport, or joined a club centered on a niche interest of yours. Each of us has forged our own path at Miami, bringing a unique set of people along with us through our journey. You all may be thinking, cool story, bro, but why are you emphasizing our differences at an already divisive time? Great question, hypothetical audience member. I think acknowledging that we all have differences makes our similarities that much more impactful. There are two things that I think unite us truly as a class at Miami, and the first one's obvious. We've all made it to this room together. Congratulations. Whether you zoomed through in 3 years, took 4 years like me, or 5, 6, 7 years, we have all summited the mountain that is a degree in engineering and/or computing. Engineering provides a unique kind of training, preparing us to think critically and view the world around us from a different lens. We have all learned how to understand and even improve the systems that surround us in some way or another, and that's an achievement to be proud of. The second commonality is a bit more profound. Engineering and computing are really tough. The degree can squeeze the life out of you like crazy, and sometimes it feels like it's a slog that'll never end. So many people every year decide that this degree isn't for them, and there's nothing wrong with that, but all of you have made it through. That's where the second thing we all share lies. Each and every one of us in this room has something, no matter what it may be, that made us choose to stick it out. I won't pretend we all have the exact same motivations. Some of us just want to make a lot of money. Hey, me too. Some of us really, really, really like cars, maybe a little too much. Some of us want to lock ourselves in a room all day to code and avoid social interaction. Some of us just want to feel better than everyone else since we can say we completed a hard major. For me, hours and hours of introspection have allowed me to realize that I just really like making cool stuff. Be it the haptic modules I made working in a research lab in Korea, or the pump I built with a team back in my manufacturing processes class, I find the thing that best keeps the light in my eyes is creation. Even if you don't derive as much joy from the actual work of engineering as I do, there's something inside of you that made you keep going through this degree when so many others chose not to. If you haven't figured out what it is yet, do some soul searching and find out what your motivation is. Another thing I wanted to touch on while I have your attention captive relates to a point I made earlier. Many of us studied more than one thing here at university, and even if you did not, I'm sure that you have at least one interest outside of engineering. Throughout my time at Miami, I've noticed that letting my engineering skill set bleed into other areas of my life has been a power-up that set me apart from those around me. In music performance, the most common method to solve a problem is to sit in a practice room for 5 or so hours and painstakingly play a section slowly again and again and again until you've ironed out the issue. I've tried it, it's not fun. I found that using the critical thinking and engineering design problem-solving skills I've learned in class have helped me to find new perspectives on the issues I face as a performer and overcome my challenges significantly quicker than the traditional method would have let me. Well, I guess I can't 100% guarantee that you'll all have the same miraculous, lucky success that I did. I urge you to give it a shot. Use the problem-solving skills that you've, at least hopefully, picked up in the past few years in class in all areas of your life, not just at your job. I'm not asking you all to build just to build or create without reason. I did just spend a minute yapping about motivation after all. The challenge I have for you all is to think of improvement as you work and as you live. Find creative solutions to yours and others' problems. Find passion projects that you genuinely enjoy working on. Do the inner work to figure out what part of engineering makes you happy, makes you light up, or sends you in a flow state. I think the phrase, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, is a bit cliche and ridiculous. Everyone has hard days, runs into times when it's hard to keep going, and has to consider whether the path they're on is the right one. That being said, knowing your why and which parts of this sometimes horribly difficult career you love will make your life and the lives of those close to you so much better. If you really want to take to heart everything that I've been saying today, but just couldn't pay attention to the whole speech and you want to TLDR, the point is simple. We have all taken unique paths that have trained us with the skills we need to improve the world around us. While today we're exactly the same, tomorrow, we will once again be completely different. Our paths have all led us to this room, but they're about to diverge, sending us across the country and even across the world. Whether you're working in a manufacturing plant, a tech sales role, a research lab, in IT, as a programmer, consultant, or wherever else, you all have a skill set that most have not cultivated. We're moving on into a new chapter of our lives, one in which we have significantly more agency because we'll be real adults, not just college adults. Now is a time when each of us has a chance to take an opportunity and build a better world, not just for ourselves, but also for those around us. So do it. Seize that chance. Congratulations, everyone, on graduating. I, for one, cannot wait to live in the world that we build. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jack. We're very proud of your impressive accomplishments and wish you the very best in your future endeavors. You can learn more about Jack's accomplishments from his biographical statement in your program. Please join me in congratulating him one more time. It is my pleasure and indeed an honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, Jim Free. Jim Free is currently the Chief Operating Officer and Senior Consultant at Lead Off the X. He has a 35-year career in the aerospace industry, both in the United States and internationally. Jim served with NASA for 30 years in roles from discipline engineer through senior executive, with the culminating role as the NASA Associate Administrator, the highest ranking career civil servant at NASA, responsible for NASA's $25 billion budget, 17,000 personnel, and all the programs under that umbrella. In these roles, he oversaw and managed major human and robotic spaceflight programs, infrastructure, operations, policy, and future planning for critical NASA missions, including significant roles and interfaces with international partners, including Europe and Japan. In his time outside of NASA, Jim worked in private industry, developing future space system architectures, overseeing spaceflight hardware programs, assessing major human spaceflight programs, and providing policy inputs on future US and international programs. Jim is the recipient of the Presidential Rank Award, NASA Distinguished Service Medal, NASA Outstanding Leadership Medal, NASA Exceptional Service Medal, NASA Significant Achievement Medal, and numerous other awards. Please help me in welcoming Jim Free to the podium.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. And, I've spent a career speaking after astronauts, and I thought it was behind me, and then I had to speak after Jack. So it just gets tougher as I go along. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm flattered to have been asked to speak here today. Sharing in your day is an honor for me as a person and as an alum. Congratulations to each one of you on the path getting to this stepping off point. Bina, thank you for having the faith in me to provide these comments. I'd also like to thank the people who put the hard work in to plan for the ceremony and for everyone who prepared this wonderful venue. I'd like to start by setting some expectations. This is not the best commencement address you will ever hear. To quote a song, if you don't expect too much of me, you won't be let down. However, I can assure you that everything I say here today comes from my heart. This also is not the most difficult talk I've ever given. I've been through some really challenging things in my time at NASA, as you can imagine. Difficult environments, unpopular decisions, hostile crowds, press conferences, technical issues, procurement challenges, satellites on the verge of collision, flight readiness reviews, launches of humans to space, returns of humans from space. Nope, nothing was more difficult than On a May afternoon in 2013, much like today, I found myself in one of NASA's unique facilities as I took the stage in front of a restless crowd of about 90 people. This was one of the most challenging moments. Could I really deliver the message? I was given 2 to 3 minutes. Some in the crowd looked as if they could care less. It was the NASA Glenn Research Center Lewis Little Folks Kindergarten graduation. Now that was pressure. I was between 25 5-year-olds and a party. So today, honestly, is a piece cake. I'm going to cover 3 fundamental things today. They are one-phrase statements. They're simple and straightforward. I've continued to learn and grow from them even today, and I do hope that you maybe find one of them beneficial. 2 of the 3 have crystallized for me in recent years and some of the experiences I had at the end of my NASA career. The remaining one was ingrained in me early in my life, and I still try and practice it today. I have perfected none of these and always ask those around me to hold me to account should I not live up to anyone. The first up is a phrase I heard in 2023 just before beginning my last job at NASA. As Bina mentioned, where I had responsibility of the entire agency, its mission, 17,000 people, and the budget. When I started the job, we had a meeting in Houston in January of 2024. I stood in front of the NASA leadership group that included 60 people, and I asked them, will you risk the hostile stare? As leaders and as people, are we willing to take a stance that needs to be taken? Are we willing to ask the questions that need to be asked? Are we willing to say what needs to be said? Those moments call on each of us. Now, I had no idea in that moment how many times in the coming 14 months I'd have to ask myself that exact question, and where I truly had to risk the hostile stare. There were moments that were public, stranded and stuck astronauts, near collisions of satellites, a failed lunar lander unexpectedly coming back to Earth, pending cancellation of another lander, and a Russian module on the International Space Station that many fear was on the verge of failure. Beyond the public moments, there are other moments that, for a variety of reasons, will never see the light of day where I had to decide to. I was never perfect, but I had to be the one that in each situation, understanding all the uniqueness of them, I had to decide if I was willing to risk the hostile stare. As you move forward today, you need to be prepared in any aspect of your life to be willing to do the same. The second phrase is attributed to an individual who lived his life in the service of others, giving away his jacket to those who needed it, taking care of the sick, even at his own expense and ultimately his own health. His family was never aware of this service until he died at the age of 24, and all the poor of his town came to his funeral and shared his works with his parents. One of the phrases he lived by was, "Flee every temptation to be mediocre." I love the way it takes us out of aiming to be our best or live life to the fullest. It speaks more to the times that are more frequent, or perhaps even more undetectable in our day-to-day. Those times when we know we can do more, where we can take the extra step, where we can move from being mediocre. As in the first phrase, I can give you many examples where I have fallen right into that mediocre trap. I can rationalize it by saying I'm tired or overwhelmed, where I can skip that last proofreading or maybe make an assumption in a calculation. But perhaps the most egregious is when I don't put that time into a relationship, put that effort into a conversation I'm having with someone. Simple human interactions are where we are called to not mail it in. When you are a leader, people look to you in times when you are tired or distracted. I had someone come into my office one day and I didn't turn my body away from my computer. That sent a signal that I wasn't giving them my undivided attention. They let me know it too, by the way. I was mediocre. The greatest example I saw of not being mediocre was Mrs. Annie Glenn, the wife of Senator and astronaut and great human being John Glenn. Senator Glenn was receiving an award from NASA, and I was to be her date for the event as he sat up on stage. From the moment I walked up next to her, she was completely engaged in our discussion. Never a glance away or a drift in her mind of what was going on elsewhere in life. She remembered everything about my wife, whom she had met, our kids, and me. She fled every temptation to be mediocre. The final phrase is more of an ideal and builds off of Mrs. Glenn's example. Be a person for others. I went to an all-boys school run by an order of Catholic priests, referred to as God's Marine Corps. So the phrase is known there as be a man for others. This ideal has guided me in ways that touch every part of my life. For instance, at the beginning of my talk, and you heard it from Bina too, I thanked and she thanked all the people who planned the ceremony and set up the venue. Just think about it for a second. We all walked in today, and we're thinking about just about everything other than the hard work, the planning, and setup took. I learned as a leader the power of simple words of gratitude. And in the end, we are all human, and a thank you to any of us goes a long way. Lending a hand when someone needs the door held open, a simple hello. At the first Artemis launch, Artemis is the return to the moon in case any of you missed that, I chaired the final review before launch called the Flight Readiness Review, or FRR. I made sure that the first people I thanked were the folks that set up the room and had all our books printed. The second thing I did was remind the 200 people in that room that they were able to be there only because of all the people that were not in that room and did the hard work. One of the most moving moments for me was standing outside the Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB, at the Kennedy Space Center. That's the iconic, over 450-foot tall building with the large American flag on the side. We were running into a lot of problems getting the vehicle ready for launch. We hadn't launched a rocket to the moon in over 50 years, and I felt like I needed to thank the teams. I decided to stand out and wait at the end of each shift, introduce myself to the people, tell them how much they mattered in getting us back to the moon, and thank them. It was deeply moving to hear their thoughts and concerns about things. About 2 weeks after launch, I received an email from one of the people I had met who mentioned how much our interaction had meant. For me, the launch of this mission and every mission was about them. People make the difference, and my role as leader was to let them know. It was my role to be a man for others. To each of you graduates today, congratulations. These are achievements in your life that you should revel in. Remember the thousands of steps it took to get here. Remember to express gratitude to the people in your life who made this possible. There are likely sacrifices that you will never know that they made. To those people who made the day possible for the graduates, congratulations to you as well. You are to be celebrated today. Risk the hostile stare, flee every temptation to be mediocre, and be a person for others. Those three concepts are what you owe to yourself from here forward. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jim, for your thoughtful remarks and for your service to Miami University and your community. Let's have another round of applause for today's recognition ceremony keynote speaker, Jim Field. And now comes the part of the ceremony we all have been waiting for. In fact, I was told down my speech so that we can get to this as quickly as possible. So, individual recognition of the graduating students. To begin with, I'd like to recognize those students who have taken the extra step to earn more than one major. Carrying an academic load for an engineering or computing degree is difficult. Pairing it with a second or third bachelor degree is an amazing accomplishment. Would those students graduating with 2 or more bachelor degrees please rise if you're able and not too tired from studying to be recognized. Thank you. Many of our students broaden their education by earning minors or certificates in project management. Would those students please rise if you're able and be recognized? Anybody? Thank you. A major focus for our college has been to graduate students that are technically proficient, socially conscious, globally aware, and culturally sensitive. Would those students who have participated in socially engaged student organizations and outreach activities such as Engineers Without Borders, Code to Learn, Girls Who Code, HYPE, Society of Women Engineers Girl Scout Day, Society of Women Engineers Next, Zeta Rho Future Engineers Day, the Miami University Center for Assistive Technology, and the Humanitarian Minor, please rise if you're able and be recognized for your investment in becoming socially engaged engineering and computing grads. Finally, I would like to recognize all of those who are identified in the commencement program as graduating with distinction. Would these students please stand and remain standing, if you're able, as I call out all the honors as a special acknowledgement of your achievements. Today we honor 52 students who are graduating cum laude. Can stand and remain standing. Thirty-three students who are graduating magna cum laude. You can remain standing. and 13 students who are graduating summa cum laude. And 26 students who are graduating with university honors. So let's have a round of applause for these outstanding students. Please be seated. Because we want to honor the accomplishments of all of our graduates, we'll now read the names of both the master's and bachelor's candidates as they cross the platform and receive congratulations. I always say this, I understand that you want to wish and you want to cheer and celebrate your graduate's name as it's read. And we say that the next family might not be able to hear them, but I'm going to say please applaud because that is why you're here. So please, it's now my honor to ask Dean Crowder, Dr. Michael Crowder, Dean of the Graduate School, to please come to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Graduate School, it is my honor to acknowledge the accomplishments of our students here today who have completed their programs of graduate study. Will all the candidates for a master's degree please stand if you're able? It is my immense pleasure to present the College of Engineering and Computing candidates for the master's degree. The master's degree requires a minimum of 31 credit hours of coursework and scholarly activities beyond the baccalaureate degree. These rigorous programs prepare our graduates to enter the workforce as advanced professionals or for further academic study. With the approval of the graduate faculty, each of these candidates has completed all of the requirements for his, her, or their degree, and I present them to you with pride. The marshals will now escort the candidates to the platform so that we may recognize their academic achievement and that Dean Sukumaran, Dr. Marnie Sanders, and I can congratulate them. Dr. Andrew Palou will assist today.
Prashant Acharya.
Himal Gwawali. Amrit Aryal. Manish Bandari. Yogesh Chowdhury.
Aibak Auni Al-Jadaya.
Nadim Mahmoud.
Nam Hoang.
Sudhir Yadav.
Kushi Reddy Kota.
Anisha Valuru. Varad Krishna Panchal.
Gabriel Thomas Hardy Fowler. Kevin Mark Coop. Martin Hearn.
Dylan McConnell.
Prakriti Anikari.
Mithri Prayadanampudi.
Punidar Akala.
Heather Suzanne Murhout.
Farzana Alam. Muhammad Anuruddha Alam.
Nahid Hassan Raju.
Harris Brotman.
Braden Edward Cowger. Katie Marie Evans. John Ian Belak. Ian Michael Cortez.
Marcus Christopher White.
I could have gotten that one.
Brendan David Sears.
Jack Anthony Jubinski.
Ian Joseph Russell. Dylan Matthew Middendorf. Ethan Thomas Ward.
Stephen Douglas Harvey II.
Ethan Hahn. Hui Tran. Fiza Ashruf.
We'll now recognize the undergraduates by department. I'm assisted by Mr. Nick Stanford and Dr. Brian Kirkmeyer as the students cross the stage. Dr. Yousefi, please come to the podium and address the Miami University Chemical, Paper, and Biomedical Engineering graduates.
Thank you. It's an honor to stand with you today and acknowledge the graduates of the Department of Chemical, Paper, and Biomedical Engineering. I have to admit, moments like this always feel personal to me. I was the first generation college student, and I still remember what it felt like to be where you are now. Excited, proud, and maybe a little unsure about what comes next. My journey didn't include a ceremony quite like this, but the people who believed in me knew what I had accomplished. That's what I see here today. Behind every graduate is a story of effort, support, and quiet determination. For many of your families, this is more than a ceremony. It's something deeply felt, something they've been waiting for right alongside you. I hope you carry both the pride of what you've accomplished and the reminder that you didn't get here alone, and that you can be that same source of support for others. Wherever you go next, stay grounded, stay curious, and take care of people along the way. Congratulations, we are truly proud of you. It's now my pleasure to introduce the candidates receiving a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Chemical Engineering, and Engineering Management with technical specialties in paper engineering, environmental engineering, process control, and regulatory affairs. Candidates, please rise and come forward. Dr. Catherine Amquist and Dr. Laker will assist today.
Emma Fazekas. Anna Michelle Kaufman.
Zeta Manning.
Rowan Tate Krebs.
Brooke Ashley Moon.
Grace Lee Holmes.
Cameron Richard Schonsler.
Gail Amelia Corbetts. Grant Christopher Krauth. Sofia do Vale Pereira Esteves.
Ethan Denton Peters. Mallory Zamataro.
Gabriel Francis Gabrasek. Kayla Grace Croft. Alex Bradley Garwacki.
Julia Wright. Brianne Ellen Snyder.
Mia Cecilia Allendete. Brooklyn Lengyel. Delaney Lynn Kerber. Victoria Anna Krepulek. Hafsa El Harchi.
Muhammad Danish Malik.
Zainab Khan.
Shahazodhan Mukadaskhonov.
Nicholas Joseph Blauvelt.
Cameron John Miller. Connor Robert Seeley.
Aiden James Grody.
Aaron Shooter. Alexander Ambrose Martin.
Michael Antonio Carmosino. Michael Bo Luke.
Michael Sullivan Veith. Rebecca Marie Chavone. Andrew D. Stebbins. Ana Cristina Sedano Alcalde.
Lucy Elizabeth Corder. Kayla Marie Gleckler.
Benjamin Aaron Brenning.
Stephen Lorenz. Grace Elizabeth Amell. Hudson Christopher Hart.
Luke Christian Monche.
Logan Clinton Lawson.
Brennan Mackenzie Rogers.
Thank you, everyone. Dr. Ma, please come to the podium and address the Miami University Computer Science and Software Engineering graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Yousefi. Dear CSE graduates, congratulations on your outstanding achievement. You have made your way through demanding courses, late-night coding sessions, debugging marathons, challenging team projects, and many experiences that help you grow. You are graduating at a unique time. Artificial intelligence is transforming your field rapidly. It has created exciting opportunities, but also brings uncertainty about the future of work and the skills will be needed. But I want you to remember this. You are ready for this moment. Your education has not only prepared you for a specific programming language, tool, system, or platform. It has given you something deeper and more durable. A strong foundation in computational thinking, problem solving, system design, ethics, and teamwork. More importantly, it has strengthened your ability to continue to learn and adapt. Technologies will change, tools will change. The way we write code may also change. But the ability to think critically, learn continuously, and apply your knowledge responsibly will enable you not only to keep up, but to lead. I want to say how proud we are, not just only of your achievement, but of who you have become. You have shown resilience, integrity, creativity, and a willingness to support one another. As your journey goes beyond Miami, please carry forward your curiosity, your confidence, and your commitment to do meaningful work. Apply what you have learned responsibly and make a positive difference. We're excited for what comes next, and we'll be rooting for you every step of the way. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce degree candidates receiving degrees in Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity, and a Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering. Candidates, please rise and come forward. Helping me today are Dr. Johnson and Professor Noam Crumpy.
Anthony Edward Galassi. Olabisi O. Fabusoya.
Parker Sherman.
Owen Robert Gibbons.
Gunnar B. Van Bergen.
Daniel William Carroll.
Gage Wickner. Ryan Christopher Von Erden. Drishya Pradhan. Samuel Edward Bowmaker Skinner.
Morgan Lee Deininger.
Cody Schaefer. Audrey Meadows. Spencer John McCrae.
Akanksha Dabbas. Michael Caden Hune. Sarah Victoria Jarvis. Ryan Horak.
John Pershing Morris.
Nicole LeBoy Torres. Jet James Laura. Sean Bergquist,
Abigail May Short,
Tyler Magato,
Luke Jansen, Mark August Friedrich,
Xander Cage Stegall, K.M. Siam, Cameron James Paul,
Ali Auenheider, Ryan M. Hardeck, Henry Michael Barcia,
Joseph Michael Sanuk,
Siddhant Singh Karki,
Milan Sood Patel, Gabrielle Robert Ole,
Lucas Andrew Ball, Andrew Jordan King, Noah Philip Emmert, Brian William Kennedy,
Vasil Norenko, Olivia Alexandra Mellon, Lincoln Edward Rudder,
Rorik Dane Donovan, Samuel Richard Bowers,
Robert James Thomas Zank,
Olton Black, Keegan Anthony Godlaski,
Jacob U. Malabiran,
Ethan Hart Varner,
Gabriel J. Byrne, Evan Matthew Liberto, Cameron J. Harris, Casey James Cross,
Jonathan Schooley,
Alex Asanai Asawalaitong, Evan Joseph Gora, Dylan Jack Liss, Mia Grace Bowles, Jackson Little, Ilhan Arten, Camden Bennett Amata,
Sydney Michelle McReal,
Rory Michael Farrick, Nathan Eugene William Dahl, Quinn Edward Connolly, Matthew George Clappus, Joseph Salvatore Fazioli, Ian James Dewey,
Isaac A. Rube, Alexander Frank Vittori,
Brandon Burrell,
Brandon Lawhorn Moore,
Sam Lawrence Adugiapong,
Alexander Patnode,
Alex Lamoco, Ravi John Friesen, Grant A. Bischoff, Andrew Robert LaPlante,
Devin Race, Miranda Keeley Walker, Elliot Brooks Seifert,
Colin Scott Kula, Jeremy Thomas Easter,
Jesse Colton Skaggs,
Luke Hostetler,
Evan Rich Patterson,
Aiden Althouse,
Parker Bryant McLean,
Michael Alexander Leemcool,
Ashton Hunter Tully,
Hanwen Shane,
Joseph Michael Fallrath,
Huan Lee,
Zachary Emil Sorial,
Huang Tran,
Joshua Michael Ream, Charles Sapansky,
John William Klein,
John Michael Schwab VI, Gabriel Richard Whitty,
Matteo Salvatore Johnson, J. Nicholas Heading, Evan Winthrop Ellsworth, Matthew Michael DeRespinis,
Stefan Stoyanovsky.
Yusuf Sevkli.
Troy Joseph Dold.
Andrew King Roberts. Ayush Yadav.
Zarifida Chowdhury. Hemank Yudaga.
Dylan Patrick Rigsby.
Jacob Tay Devereaux.
Mason Luke Town. Nicholas Schaff. Jacoby Oliverio.
Madison Danielle Loveday. Elizabeth Hooton. Barbara Darius. Monsol Cole Quelly.
I now ask Dr. Chi-Hao Chen to present the graduates from the Electrical and the Computer Engineering Department.
Thank you, Dr. Ma. EC graduates, after countless late nights spent on building circuits, debugging code, grinding through problem sets, and making panic last-minute fix right before a project demo, not to mention wrestling with the moral dilemma of whether to use ChatGPT for your homework, you finally made it. You have become skillful engineers who can multitask, independently acquire knowledge, and work across different domains, whether in time or frequency. You are now ready to embark on a journey to reshape our world for the better. Also, today marks the end of a formal college education. This commencement ceremony signifies the beginning of your career and the next phase of your life. Your lifelong learning process is just starting. So therefore, I would like you to adapt Winston Churchill's word here. Now, this is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning of your lifelong learning journey. So maintain your curiosity, embrace continuous learning, but above all, take good care of yourselves. And remember, you're always a part of EC family, and we hope you will keep in touch. We eagerly anticipate hearing about your adventure, and if your time you waste is just right, you might even join our snack time as usual. Now it is my great pleasure to present you candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Engineering with major in Computer Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Robotics Engineering, and Engineering Management with a concentration in Electronics and Computing. Candidates, please rise and come forward. Helping me today are Dr. Brian Van Scoy and Dr. Vina Chidwella.
Matthew Lowell Page. Casey Richter. Sydney Jane Marino.
Logan Andrews.
Edward Lewis Sharek.
Sean Phelps.
Aiden Curtis Herb.
Carter Nicholas Smith.
Micah Raphael Granadino. Keegan Robert Alvis.
Justin Wright Ward.
Daniel Johnson Kirk.
Nathan James Wodika.
Logan Liu.
Tufshin Sana Yalald.
Philip Lee Hampton.
Jose Raimundo Reyes Marin. Brandon Ann Vu. Samuel Anthony Schumann.
Caroline Van Nesty.
Vicente Nicholas Crump. Michael Dwayne Brown. Sethenroth Andrus Brown. Charlize Raylyn Haddix.
A Diamond Cyan Amaris Samons. Megan Camille Walston.
Benjamin Gregory Davis. Aiden Joseph Cooper.
Sajjadul Rahman Sajid.
I now ask Dr. Fasil Ken to come to a podium to present a graduate from the Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering Department.
Good evening, everyone. Again, delighted to be with you this evening. Being an engineer, I guess there might be an expectation for me to sound technical. But before all that, I've always been a great fan of English literature, so I'm going to share a quote from one of my favorite authors, Oscar Wilde, because I think it has a particularly fitting message for the occasion. So it starts as, "There's no such thing as a good influence, because to influence a person is to give him one's own soul. He becomes an echo of someone else's music, an actor of a part not written for him. The aim of life is self-improvement." So maybe I should not contradict myself and stop here, but here's the thing. In a world of curated music, news, videos, reading lists, exposure to diversity of thought can be a little difficult. I'll encourage you to be inquisitive and continue to challenge yourself personally and professionally. There'll be missteps and milestones. Be creative in your endeavors and realize it's okay to shrug off pressures to be identified by a job title. Hold yourself to high standards and create your own markers of success and happiness. So I hope you live outstanding lives, support your community, and be humble. For the students I've gotten to know personally through classes and projects, it's been a pleasure working with you. And on behalf of all the MME faculty, congratulations to all the MME graduates. Now, parents, family members, friends, and Dean Sukumaran, it's my great pleasure to present to you candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Engineering Management with a manufacturing concentration, the Bachelor of Science in Engineering in Manufacturing Engineering, and the Bachelor of Science in Engineering in Mechanical Engineering. We're prolific in our major offerings. Before I call up our newest graduates from the department, I would like to recognize Jack Namina, our student speaker, and present him with his diploma jacket. Jack will graduate with a BS in Mechanical Engineering and a BA in Music Performance. Candidates, please rise and come forward. Assisting me today are Dr. Catherine Ellert and Dr. Edgar Caraballo.
Jeffrey Schroeder.
William Schaefer Jansen.
Cohen Hugh Reed.
Matthew Andrew Bear, Nathan N. Green, Aaron John Herring, Gabriel Edward Bolden, Robin A. Bridges,
William Patrick Stackpole,
Evan Colby Finetouch,
Kaylin Watson,
Wesley Lane Gross-Close, Joshua Salvador Hernandez Naranjo, Aiden James Conway, Jordan Holm,
James Wells, Allison Renee Stevens,
Nathan James Kibble, Claire Monet Davis, Gabriel Lucien Bokich, Gabrielle Elizabeth Johnson,
Brandolyn Marie Wilson, Evan William Marshall,
Willem Doobie,
Adrian Reyes Rivera, Trevor David Nolan,
Camden Estep,
Caden S. Vannatta, Colin McHenry Titchener, Stanley Sekou Sheriff, Andrew Richard Schreider, Edwin Ethan Quinones,
Alex Ivanov,
Thomas Nolan Windholtz,
Avery Rose Hendel, Corey Lane Helmick,
Zachary Metz, Yuan Shu Zhou,
Caitlin Cecilia Bush, Lucia Amat Ayala, Rebecca Lynn Kimball,
Catherine Megan Ronick,
Nolan Matthew Londo, Kayla Nicole Castellan,
Lucas Ryder,
Bailey Adriana Evans, Antonio Luigi Anandono, Samantha Claire Axland, Colden John Cadlick, Lola Bell Craig, Simona Kozel, Emma Margaret Flower, Caroline Carberg, Owen Matthew Farrell,
Alyssa Nicole Molina,
Jackson Joseph Canick,
Madeline Elizabeth Milas, John Castle Yarwood,
Jonathan Nelson,
Justin Ackerman, Brett Robert Holliday, Ty Jeremy Cawwine,
Jackson Robert Neeson,
Vivian Hadow, Jackson Michael Bayer, Henry David Jensen, Ryan J. Bach, Anthony Christopher Johnson, Connor Geppen, Xiao Yu Curran,
Aiden Joseph Moore, Asad Ullah,
Benjamin Crane Freigang,
Kevin Nete,
Maya Therese Gonzalez,
Anthony Joseph Mority, Gavin Roars,
Jacob Asher Flora,
Mark Scott Orlando, Caden Ryan Miller,
Landon Robert Gutz,
Colin Leonard Randall, Zane William Rex, Sean Joseph Petrovich,
Cooper Grill,
Andrew Winther Peterson,
Christian Thomas Connors, Luca Pietro Leuzzi, Alex Keeley, Floyd Morris Absher III, Seth Stephen Hopkins,
At this time, I'd like to recognize all those who have successfully completed their course of study and fulfilled all requirements of Miami University and the College of Engineering and Computing. Will all of the graduates please rise if you're able? I would also like you to point at family and friends who are in the audience, and please acknowledge them because they are the ones responsible for. Thank you. Please be seated. In a few moments, the soloists will lead us in singing the 8th verse of the Alma Mater, which can be found in the back of your program. Afterwards, the marshals will lead the platform party, the faculty, and all the graduates from the arena floor. During this time, I ask the audience to please remain seated until all have left. We then ask all of you to join us in the recreational arena for a reception in honor of our students. Members of the class of 2026, the events of this weekend are memorable for us all. Let me offer once again my congratulations to those of you who receive Miami University degrees, and my good wishes to your family and friends who have stood beside you and supported you throughout your studies. Your university is delighted to call you alumnus and alumna. As members of the Miami family, you'll always be welcome here. And now I ask all of you to rise together and join in singing your alma mater.
Old Miami, from thy hill crest, thou hast watched the decades roll, generations questing from thee, steady-hearted, pure of soul. Old Miami, new Miami, days of old and days to be.
Let me know about the quintet game too. It's gonna be a great quintet. It's